Hello everyone, and welcome back to TechBlog 66. Today, we are diving into one of the most stylish, dramatic, and emotionally rich films in the James Bond series. Yes, we are talking about Skyfall, released in 2012, directed by Sam Mendes, and starring Daniel Craig in his third outing as the legendary British Agent 007. This movie is praised not only by fans of the Bond franchise but also by general film audiences thanks to its strong character development, atmospheric visuals, and a powerful storyline that redefines James Bond for the modern era. In today's vlog, we will explore the plot, the performances, the action sequences, the villain's role, the music, and why Skyfall became one of the highest-rated films in the entire Bond franchise. So, let's start the breakdown. The story begins with a high-intensity chase sequence in Istanbul, where Bond and fellow agent Eve are tracking down a stolen hard drive containing secret information about undercover agents. This opening is fast, thrilling, and expertly crafted, setting the tone right away. The motorcycle chase on rooftops, the fight on top of a moving train, and the dramatic moment where Eve accidentally shoots Bond create an emotional and suspenseful beginning. This entire sequence demonstrates that even though Bond is skilled, he is still vulnerable, and that vulnerability becomes one of the most important themes of the movie. After Bond is presumed dead, MI6 faces a major crisis. A cyberattack targets their headquarters, exposing weaknesses in the agency's security system. M, played by the brilliant Judi Dench, becomes the center of political pressure as government officials question her leadership. This subplot gives the movie a realistic touch, showing how intelligence agencies struggle in an age dominated by cyber warfare rather than traditional field operations. Bond eventually returns to duty after realizing MI6 needs him, but he is far from perfect. His physical tests, shooting skills, and psychological state all show signs of decline. This is rare in a Bond movie because earlier films usually show him as a nearly invincible hero. Skyfall takes a refreshing approach by humanizing the character, reminding us that he is not a superhuman but a person with injuries, trauma, and emotional weaknesses. Daniel Craig delivers a powerful performance, portraying a more mature and introspective Bond. The new Q, played by Ben Whishaw, brings an interesting dynamic to the story. Instead of the older gadget master seen in previous films, this Q is a young, tech-savvy genius. Their interaction includes a mix of humor and philosophical ideas about the modern role of spies. The film highlights the shift from physical gadgets to cyber tools, reflecting the real-world evolution of intelligence work. Now let's talk about the villain, Raul Silva, portrayed by Javier Bardem. Silva is one of the most memorable Bond villains ever, not because of physical strength, but due to his psychological power and unpredictable nature. His motivations are deeply personal, and the movie gradually reveals his backstory. Silva was once an MI6 agent who felt betrayed by M after a failed mission. His emotional wounds shape him into a cyber-terrorist who uses intelligence, technology, and manipulation rather than brute force. This makes him a dangerous and chilling antagonist. Bardem's performance is charismatic, controlled, and extremely compelling. His presence elevates the movie to a higher level of depth and tension. One of the strongest aspects of Skyfall is its cinematography. Shot by Roger Deakins, the film features unforgettable visual moments, the silhouette fight scene in Shanghai, the neon reflections on skyscraper windows, the abandoned island of the villain, and the fiery climax in the Scottish Highlands. Each scene feels artistic and atmospheric, adding richness to the movie's tone. The use of light, shadows, and colors makes Skyfall not just a spy action film, but a visually stunning cinematic experience. The relationship between Bond and M is another central element. Their bond is based on loyalty, discipline, and emotional complexity. M is not just Bond's superior, she is a mentor and almost a parental figure. The storyline explores how M's decisions affect her agents, showing the weight and responsibility of her leadership. Judi Dench delivers one of her finest performances, giving M a dignified and deeply emotional farewell. Their interactions add heart and humanity to the movie. The movie moves towards its final act in Scotland, where Bond takes M to his childhood home, Skyfall, to protect her. This location is symbolic because it reveals Bond's past, his pain, and his origins. The isolated setting becomes a battleground between Bond and Silva. The final sequence is filled with suspense, emotional tension, and beautifully framed visuals. Instead of relying on high-tech gadgets, Bond uses simple traps and his survival instincts, resulting in an old-school, intense showdown. The ending is bittersweet and marks a major transition for the Bond franchise.